Hi everyone, welcome to today's marketing lesson. So today I really want to talk about how you can market a product successfully. The goal of today's video is to help you understand a framework that will help you market a product. The framework we're going to talk about today is the marketing mix. So I think it would be most helpful if we choose an item to market. So we're going to choose coffee. You can replace it with whatever you want, but for the purposes of this video, I'll refer to coffee. Okay, before we can use a framework for marketing a product, I have one question for you. What is your marketing goal? You may have different marketing goals. The ultimate goal for a lot of us is probably to get customers to purchase our product. Other goals you might have are to increase awareness about your brand. Maybe you want to build a subscriber list. Maybe you want more downloads for your app. You have a lot of these goals that you're thinking about, so it's really important to have a framework to help you narrow down your marketing strategy to help you achieve those goals. We will discuss how to do that through the marketing mix, which is also known as the 4 Ps. So the 4 Ps are product, place, promotion, and price. We're going to go into each of these and apply them to our coffee, or whatever good or service you've chosen for yourself. So the first P is product. So this one may seem simple as we already know that our product is coffee, but it's important to think a little bit bigger when you're thinking about your product. We need to really think about what we're selling. So for example, if we're Starbucks, we have our coffee, which is our product, but down the street, there's going to be 3 or 4 other restaurants that are also selling coffee. So it's really important to figure out why people would use our product and not other people's products. So for Starbucks, in most scenarios, their coffee is more expensive than other coffees. Yet, is their product really that different than other products? Or is their coffee really that different than other coffees to warrant such a high price? Some people might come for the taste, but it's really important to figure out what other characteristics about Starbucks coffee differentiate it from the other coffees down the street. So this brings up the question, what is the augmented product? So an augmented product is what you are actually selling. So in the case of Starbucks, Starbucks has its coffee. That's the product. But what they're actually selling, or the augmented coffee, is an experience. When you purchase a Starbucks coffee, you're also purchasing the experience of being in that store. You're purchasing the culture that comes with the store, the ambiance. You're also getting that status symbol that comes with the coffee cups. When people see that branded logo on your Starbucks coffee cup, they associate you with the brand that Starbucks has created. So it's really important to understand what your augmented product is when you're developing your marketing strategy. For instance, when you're marketing your product, you aren't just going to think, how can I sell this coffee? But rather, you're probably going to think, how can I sell the whole experience that comes with drinking the coffee? This will help you differentiate yourself from your competitors. Think about what your competitors offer and what they don't offer. This will help you move into your next P, which is promotion. So what is promotion? Promotion is how you are going to communicate the value and the benefits of your product to the consumer. So this can be done a lot of ways. Different companies take advantage of different promotional means. Some common examples of this are social media marketing, digital ads, you'll see billboards, TV spots. Some companies might do in-person marketing or traditional marketing too. You really need to understand your audience to know how best to communicate with them. If we wanted to promote the value of our product, let's say our Starbucks coffee to Starbucks customers, then we need to figure out who their target audience is. So let's say we notice that millennials are purchasing the coffee. So from our marketing research, we realized that millennials are mainly on social media, and millennials really value experiences over just simple products. Therefore, we need to cater our promotional material to create an experience, and we need to reach them through the social media platforms that they're tuning into. So we know that Instagram, for example, cultivates a great experience for millennials. And so maybe some of the ideas we come up with could be content marketing on Instagram, or maybe we want to run Instagram ads for our product, or maybe we want to set up some brand partnerships with influencers on Instagram. These are some of the ways we can think about promotion that caters to our target audience and also acknowledges our augmented product, which is really that experience that you get when you drink coffee, from our company, or when you use our product. So once we figure out how we want to promote, then we need to focus on the third P, which is placement. So placement's an interesting one. Placement really speaks to the distribution channels. So it's how you get the product into the hands of your consumer, or the hands of your customer. So for coffee, for example, we can make all the coffee in our factory, or maybe our kitchens, or wherever. You need to think about how you're going to get it from your kitchen to the customer. So with coffee, we know that common ways people get coffee is through coffee shops. They may make it at home. Some may get it from their work or schools. And we need to think where we can place this coffee that best meets our consumers' needs. However, before we do this, we want to ensure that we're keeping our augmented product in mind before we make a decision on distribution and placement. So for example, with Starbucks, you can probably find their products in stores, but their whole approach is that they want to create this whole cultural experience for their customers. So it would be harder to create that experience if they sold the coffee in a grocery store or online. They want you to come into their coffee shops, see people working, engage with people, get a branded coffee cup, and really immerse yourself into the experience. Therefore, their augmented product really influences the placement, which is having that in-person distribution channel. However, maybe you don't care about that. Maybe the main differentiator with your product is the price, and you're thinking, we can get you the cheapest coffee. So maybe the placement is in grocery stores. People can buy it and make it themselves. Therefore, the cost becomes so affordable since there's nobody needed to make the coffee for the customer. And people can get it a lot cheaper than if they bought it at a coffee shop. Also, when you're thinking about placement, it's important to keep in mind trends. The shopping world has really moved online, and there's a lot of e-commerce stores that have popped up. It's still really important for you to keep in mind your augmented product. So if your augmented product really requires an in-person experience, then you may not want to follow an online store as your placement. But don't ignore these trends as a whole because they really indicate where the customers are headed. So once you figure out where you can place the product or distribute the product, this will help you identify the last P, price. So with price, this is how a consumer indicates how valuable the product is. Prices are typically determined by supply and demand. So if a business prices the product too high, we as customers are going to let them know whether we want it or not as a collective consumer base. If we don't buy it, the demand will be low for the product. The business may need to lower the price to increase their sales. But maybe a lot of us are actually interested in the product and we would still buy it even though it's a little bit more expensive. This means that the product provides value to us that other similar products do not. From the company or business side of this, you need to think about the value you're giving and what price you can assign that. For example, if Starbucks didn't have all of the attributes that came along with their coffee, the augmented product we've been talking about, so the atmosphere, ambiance, the status, the niche coffee shops. If that didn't come with it, then there's no way we would justify spending that much on coffee when we could easily get $1 coffee down the street that does the job. There's always a reason we're willing to pay a little bit more for certain products. As a business, you need to ask yourself whether you would pay for the product. And if you wouldn't, why wouldn't you? Price communicates a lot of information about the product to some people. For some people, the more expensive the product, the better the quality it's perceived to be. Whether that's true or not, it's important to keep in mind that that's how some consumers are thinking. And for some people, they may think that if the price is too low, the quality may not be as great. So they may go for a price that's more middle ground. There's a lot of psychology that goes into pricing, but since that's not the purpose of this video, I'll save that for another time. So when choosing your prices, test around different prices. Don't just stick to one, because you'll never know how the demand will change if you don't change your prices. Okay, so hopefully this video has helped you understand the marketing mix a little better. To recap, we have 4 P's. There's the product, which includes the good or service, but there's also the augmented product, which really tells us what we're actually selling. The second P is promotion. This is how we're going to communicate the benefits of our product to the consumers. The third P is placement. The placement is how we're going to distribute our product. Again, remember the augmented product. If it requires us to distribute it in person, then we have to be careful about following certain trends, such as creating an online store. And then our fourth P is price. This tells us how valuable the product is to the consumer and ultimately what price tag we can put on the product for which consumers will purchase it. And there you have it. Those are the 4 Ps. So for our videos, we're really trying to make business education free and accessible to all and make it as easy and digestible as possible. Therefore, we encourage you to share some of your thoughts in the comments below to help us understand how we can make better videos for you. Also, if you found this video helpful and want more videos explaining business concepts in simple terms, please subscribe to our channel and let us know what you want us to cover. Our goal is to help you save a bunch of money on school and get all the education you need in the comfort of your own home as quickly as possible. Thanks everyone. We will see you in the next video.